Good morning. I want to welcome Bill Sullivan to the Bureau Gravity News Desk. Bill is the Director of Smart Healthy Communities at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And today, Bill, we are going to talk about Rokwire. Rokwire is the innovative open source platform that is powering the Smart Healthy Communities initiative. So, Bill, let's talk about, just get right into it. What is the big vision for Rokwire? Do you see every university, every college in the country using this?
Well, I hope that every university in North America will take advantage of it, and every university in the world, and eventually cities and K through 12 education and government agencies will tap into it. We're working very hard to try and figure out how we can tap into the creativity and the innovation and the energy and the spirit and the knowledge of people all around the world, provide a platform that makes it easy for them to contribute mobile apps or develop mobile apps that help address the problems or challenges or opportunities in their own communities.
What would you say right now are some of the biggest headlines around Rokwire?
Well, the big headline is that it's open source, it's free, it's licensed for free to anybody. You can go to our GitHub site and download it and look at the code, figure out how it might be useful for any mobile app idea that you're interested in. We're particularly interested in supporting people who are developing apps or opportunities for smart systems or healthy communities or smart healthy communities. So it's open, it's available, you can license it for free, and all that we ask is that if you make a contribution, if you make an innovation to it, that you share that back with the larger community.
And I would say that's how almost a university, like University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, is positioned well to use something like Rokwire, because you can really pull all sorts of disciplines and all sorts of knowledge from this campus, from different professionals who are able to leverage this platform and work together on it creatively.
Well, and that's exactly how we got to this point right now. We've tapped into a whole variety of disciplines, from not just our colleagues and brilliant individuals in computer science and electrical computer engineering, but all across campus, people who have concerns and deep expertise in the social sciences, in the biological sciences, in epidemiology, in physics, and increasingly in people in law and policy and the humanities. People have concerns about equity and justice. People have concerns about privacy. All have contributed ideas, and we've acted on many of those ideas as we've built the underlying platform.
And that platform is really, I think what's really unique and special about Rokwire is it is really ready to go. Those building blocks are in place, and the percentage I've heard is about 75% developed. So you can really get right onto Rokwire and start thinking about the problem-solving pieces, what features you want to add, and how it can work for you.
Yeah. So I have this undergraduate student in Pune, India, in mind almost every day. A young woman who's really interested in writing code and who's got specific ideas about her community and who discovers our GitHub site and the fact that, wow, 75% of the development of an app has already taken place and it's open source, and I can build right on top of it to create an innovation that promotes well-being or that takes advantages of sensors within our community to do something innovative and new. It's that young woman that I get so excited about, providing an opportunity to realize her innovation so much faster with so much less cost than would have happened without Rokwire.
When you speak to that, it almost makes me think about some of the other corporate entities out there, because this is a pretty big playing field. I mean, there are a lot of people in the app development game. But what you're speaking to is really about the betterment of health, the betterment of communities, the betterment of people and how they live their lives, and how we can use a platform like Rokwire to really propel that for them.
That's exactly right. And a few minutes ago we talked about the wide breadth of scholars and experts that have contributed to the development of the app. And we realize that the strength in that diversity has gotten us to this point. We also realize that there's an enormous amount of talent and interest and energy in the world. And we want to invite the entire world to come in and contribute based on their individuals' deep experiences in many different places with many different challenges, in different cultures, speaking different languages that could contribute and share things that would work in their community or in the larger region or maybe globally.
You would say that's how we make the big changes, right? The big discoveries, the big moments that help us move forward.
That's exactly right. And the idea here is to open it up to anybody and allow a wide range of people to participate and participate at the level and the level of depth that they're interested in.
Can you speak a little bit to some of the relationships that are starting to be formed around Rokwire outside of the University of Illinois?
Well, those relationships are just beginning because we just opened up the platform 3 weeks ago. So we're imagining that in the coming weeks and months, we're going to be hearing from a lot of people who are interested. We hired an open source community manager here on campus to help stimulate and develop and nurture and feed that emerging community, and we're hoping to see ideas and individuals from all over the globe who are interested in participating.
If you could rewrite the script of what a connected community would look like with Rokwire, even if it's a utopic vision, what would it look like to you?
Well, the first thing, and the thing that we've had as foundational from the beginning, is that it would protect your privacy, and you'd be in control of your data, and you would make decisions about how you share your data, about the data that you'd be willing to share in order to get certain services, and that there'd be a flexibility to that and a level of control that would be unprecedented in apps around the world today. So that's the first thing. The first thing is that you'd be in control of your data and the level of privacy. It would be very secure, so that the data that the data that are used through your participation in the app would be secure, and you'd trust that level of security. Another thing that would be different in this utopian vision is that as you move through the community and you engage in different activities in different locations and different places, and you come across different ways in which the world collects data, that those data collection efforts would be integrated into the base of Rokwire, so that you could take advantage of all the information that's flowing from those various sensors to help you meet your goals, to help you drive your agenda today and in this place. At the same time, that you know that your data is protected and not going to be sold or monetized without your knowledge or participation.
And just sort of jumping off of that, I had an opportunity to talk with Mel Fenner yesterday, and he has this excellent integration that he's working on that's basically about mental health awareness and helping people track how they're feeling mentally and physically throughout the day. And that really speaks to, this innovation we're talking about with Rokwire and how it can be a part of our daily lives, almost like a personal assistant to monitor your mental health.
To monitor your mental health and maybe even make suggestions about, seems like your stress level might be a little high right now, or you haven't had any social interaction or engagement in a while. Now, of course, all of these features would be features that you would enable, that you would give consent to, and that you'd have control over. But can you imagine if we could bring the power and the insight of our behavioral and social scientists to bear on the development of apps that so many of our students and community members use on a daily basis to promote their own health and well-being, and to bring the insights from experimental psychologists and developmental psychologists to bear on the developmental health and well-being of our students.
I want to talk a little bit about how would the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign campus look different if we didn't have Rokwire at the foundation of the COVID protocols that are happening here right now?
Well, the Rokwire platform has played an important role in allowing us to come back together on campus this semester. It was just announced yesterday that we've got now 52,000 students here at the University of Illinois on this campus, and we couldn't invite 50,000 people back to campus without having a very comprehensive effort, and that effort involves colleagues who are engaged in very smart targeting of who should be tested, how often people should be tested, when they should be tested. So they're using mathematical models and predictions to help us understand that. And we've got a brilliant group of people in chemistry and medicine and vet med who've developed this very innovative, rapid saliva-based test that gives us results in a matter of hours. And then we've got the Safer Illinois app, which is built upon the Rokwire platform that helps support that entire system. So it gives people, if they choose, they can get their test results pushed right onto their phone to the Safer Illinois app from the health center. As soon as the health center gets the data, the test results, it can be pushed to their phone. You can report your own symptoms. You can engage in a privacy-preserving process we call exposure notification. So you get a notification if you've been around someone who's recently tested positive. And we've got a screen entry component to the app, building entry component to the app that allows you to gain access to campus buildings, which would indicate that you've had a recent negative test and that you don't have any symptoms, for instance, or exposure notification that would keep you from coming into a building in a safe fashion.
And even downtown, as we were speaking with some of the businesses last night, talking about how they're even using the app as a way to just check before a student or someone enters their establishment to make sure that they've been tested recently, that it would tested negative, and how they've really been encouraged by that from a reopening standpoint.
That's very interesting. We developed the app with a very narrow focus on creating a safer opportunity for people to come back to campus for the fall semester. And what we've been hearing is that people in the community are now starting to use it. Bars are using it, taverns are using it, some restaurants are beginning to use it, and we haven't really engaged with them, but we know that they're doing that. And I think they're doing it in an effort to keep their patrons safe and their employees safe.
I want to talk a little bit about the tech curve of this generation. So you think about what we're doing right now with Rokwire and the Safer Illinois app and the Illinois app, looking back even 10, 20 years ago, this might have been a little bit over the heads of students and even the community members getting involved, but we're really in a new generation of people who've grown up with this in their hand, and they understand how valuable technology can be in their lives. So speaking to that generation, Rokwire really speaks to that and what is coming for, I would say even education and how it can be utilized for education tools.
That's my sense too. And when I teach undergraduates and graduate students on this campus, it's very clear that the habitat that they're most comfortable in is what they hold in their hands here. The digital experience is the way in which they engage so much of the world, and increasingly so much of what goes on in terms of their learning on campus. Mm-hmm. It's not just their social engagement with their peers, but it's how they get information for their classes and how they engage with one another in classroom activities, how they check in with each other, how they communicate with their instructors, for instance. So, and that was one of the driving forces about why develop an open source platform that supports the development of mobile apps. It's because the young students on campus today have grown up in a world in which these devices are central to their everyday experiences and functioning.
And I think it's also interesting how, from the Rokwire approach, there's code built into this, all different languages. I'm thinking Python in particular, that appeals to the younger audiences. So what's cool, I think, about Rokwire is you're really inviting young people to learn more even about development and how to write code. So when we talk about contributors and community members, we're really talking about, not just at above the collegiate level, but even into high school and younger.
That's right, and certainly if people want to write in Python, they're welcome to do that. We've developed so much of it in Go, and we're using the emerging languages to develop it, and I imagine that we'll continue to use the emerging languages mm-hmm. because of their flexibility.
And talk a little bit about how exciting this platform is for young, and again, talking to young developers, perhaps college age here at the university, how exciting a platform is like this for them, because it's almost, as I was speaking with some of the professors on campus, it's almost a resume builder for them too, right? They can really get their hands dirty and learn more about app development.
That's right, and we're increasingly reaching out to students. We had a student group last year that built an app right on top of the platform, Rokwire platform. Their app is called Converge, and it'll be available in the next version of the Illinois app that's coming out, or actually it's in the version that just came out. And Converge is it's an opportunity for a small group of people to get together and fill out a short questionnaire and figure out what movie they want to watch, what movie might they have in common that they would all enjoy, or what restaurant might they go to, or what activity might they go to tomorrow night. It's a really lovely idea, and it addressed an issue that young people were experiencing in their own lives, and they built it right on top of the platform, and it's available now for people to use.
Found something really interesting yesterday as we were talking with some of the students on campus. They really recognize the gravity of what's happening here with Rokwire. We were talking about the big picture and the big vision. We actually had one student say to us, we're up there with the Ivy League school. He said, I don't know other schools aside from potentially Yale that are even in the ballpark of how we could be monitoring and mitigating the pandemic. So as we look at it from that perspective, people are really recognizing how powerful this platform is and how unique what the University of Illinois is doing here.
Well, I think that's true with respect to the amount of data that we're collecting and the amount of testing that we're doing. I don't think anyone in the world is testing as much or as broadly as we are on this campus right now. We're testing all undergraduates twice a week, and everyone else associated with our campus now once a week. And we're getting a huge amount of information about how to do it better and how we can share that with other campuses and other communities. But more importantly, we're quickly identifying people who've become infected, and we're able to move those people into isolation, provide them the support and care that they need in isolation so that they can get healthy and they can protect their roommates and their neighbors and the community as well.
If you look down the road to perhaps, let's just say 2022, so we're looking about 2 years ahead, where do you hope to see Rokwire? What do you hope to see when you look at this platform?
Oh gosh, in 2022, I hope we have more foundation built, so the foundation can continue to be built, and it can be more specialized based on the various challenges and problems that people want to address. So there might be more in a transportation building block, and more in a health building block, and more in a groups building block, and maybe we'll have a building block that's got a good deal of information about how to do online courses through your phone, or maybe course management systems or learning management systems. So you could take all your courses, do all your homework, find all the materials through the Rokwire platform, as opposed to right now, some students on our campus will have 4 different learning management systems that they have to navigate for one semester, for 4 different courses in one semester. And what we hope is to simplify that. I think over time we'll also create opportunities for better translation in dozens and dozens of languages, so that it's available in more broader languages. Right now, the apps are available in English, Spanish, and Mandarin, and we would hope to increase that dramatically in the next couple of years.
As we wrap up here, I want to give you the opportunity to leave people with one big thought about Rokwire. If anyone could walk away from this knowing one thing about Rokwire, what do you want them to know?
Well, I want them to know that we invite them to come work with us to change the world.
Thank you so much for being here.
You know what? Can I do one more thing?
Yeah,
Are we cut off? Can I?
No, go ahead.
So, all of this is happening because we had the insight of our provost, Andres Conglaris, and his brilliance and courageousness to move in this direction. So I just want to say how lucky we feel to have his support and his continued enthusiasm. And then none of this would happen. We wouldn't be anywhere without the brilliance of our alum John Michael Paul, who's an alum and has lived in Palo Alto for the last 20-some years. He's been in tech for 40 years, and he's made great innovations. And last year, he, out of the goodness of his heart, he started, or in 2018, he started coming back to campus 1 week every month to contribute to this effort and really help lead the development of the Rokwire open source platform. And it's been his energy and his commitment and his passion and his deep commitment to making a difference in the world that has really led us to this point. He moves fast, and he gets a lot of things done, and he's one of the most impressive problem solvers I've ever been around. And I've been in higher education for 30 years now, and he goes by JP. JP is one of the most impressive problem solvers I've ever been around. He gets to the core of a problem in an unhurried, methodical fashion, looking at it from all various directions before he commits to any kind of solution. And it's really a joy to watch him, especially in a moment of kind of intensity or crisis. He gets a kind of calmness about him, and he focuses in, and you can see his brain working from all these different dimensions. And it's been his deep experience, his commitment to Illinois, his passion for making a difference in the world that we've really tapped into and benefited a great deal from as we've developed the platform.
Okay. Bill, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Nice to see you.